her tuned up here real quick. Kind of been hectic lately. Man, it's been hectic, but it's good. All things are good. We've been touring a lot. I was in Minnesota this past weekend. I had a great time up there playing. We're going to be in Wisconsin this weekend coming up, and those shows have been really super fun. For those that don't know, I've been touring for about most of the year with Gary LaVox, who is the lead singer from Rascal Flatts. He's doing some solo dates. They've been really fun. We've shared the stage with Jelly Roll and even Ludacris and all kinds of different folks, right? That's it. So I wanted to talk about the right tool for the job. Picking the right tool for the job. Got some folks coming in. Yeah, happy Tuesdays, right? Signal chain right now is the old Marshall, which has really become fun and to play on, and the compressor, and the Andy Timmons pedal, the AT Mod. I had a comment about the gearbox the other day. Somebody was like, "Oh man, I think your gearbox is broke." I'm like, "No, it's not broke. I've just been experimenting with different signal chains and different things." So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tune that you guys are playing on. Good sound, right? The cab is a Universal Audio aux. The topic for today, just pardon the intro noodles, just having some fun, is choosing the right tool for the job. This is an interesting thing, an interesting topic, a topic that can never truly be mastered, in my opinion. You can always have fun with different items. For example, what's this same kind of melody going to sound like on a Lone Star? Tell it's got that classic Fendery kind of thing. More zing. I'm used to Fender amps. So this, even though it's a boogie, it's that classic Fender kind of sound to me, very American flavored kind of tone. And this single coil-ish sounds always work so well on this type of amp. I didn't change anything in the equation except the amplifier. Now we're on the Lone Star. So here's the split singles kind of sound. Now I like the humbuckers a little bit on the Marshall. Marshall's really good for the humbuckers. It's got more of that British flavor. Back to the boogie. This is the boogie. On the humbucker. One more time. Anyone have a favorite boost to run in the effects loop? The boost that I like for an effects loop type item is just like a Serb clean boost. I'm looking for it. I don't have it. It's the one that they did with Mike Landau. It's a really good one. Kind of a bluish color. I think it's called Dual Boost. It's good. I also, one of the tricks that I use for this very item is I used, with Skank Banger, I use a Axe Effects Axe 8 in the loop of my Eddie Van Halen amp, the 5150. And in that loop, I only use the delay, but I use one of the blocks to bump up the signal 3 dB for my solo boost. So now for another example, just one more time, this is the Bella. This is going to be the meatiest sound and darkest. That's one of my all-time favorite amps. Here it is with the gearbox. This is kind of like, you guys are going to know this tone. This is like the tone that I use for it's like totally that. Yeah, so now let's go back to the signal chain that we were using earlier, which is the AT mod and the Woodshed compressor. So that same sound is on. Here is one more tone, which is the. Let's see. That's maybe amp 5. Oh, amp 6. There it is. Yeah. There's the diesel. With no pedals. That's the diesel with no pedals. So maybe I need a high gain amp, you know. If I hit that with the, say, the 18 mod, I don't really like that. Let's try it with the compressor. This is the compressor on that tone. I like that. Let's, for fun, give ourselves some more gain on the diesel. One of my favorite channels is the channel 2 on the diesel. Yeah. Great sounding. And you can tell how different it reacts. It's really in your face. And then that same kind of sound on the Bella, this is the same thing, which is just the compressor on the Bella. On the Boogie. So you can see how gain structure changes using gearbox in front of a clean amp. It's way more liquid sounding. I'm putting some delay. Braxel is saying, are these actual amps? These are actual amps. You know why? Because it matters. Modeling is cool. I have an Axfex right here, and I love amp modeling. It's really, really great. It's come so far, but these are, what you're hearing are real amplifiers, and they're around the room. If you look behind me over here, sorry for the mess. I've been packing, but yeah, the amplifiers go down the wall over here behind me. And I just wanted to point out the difference in gain structure using an amplifier like a diesel that's got a bunch of preamp gain versus using a pedal on a clean amp, and how different they will be, and how liquidy, you know, the gearbox is, say on the Marshall. This is like a really, I mean, that's a tone right there that I get along with. Oh, sorry. It's a really great tone for me. For what I like is it's really nice and chewy. I like a darker sound. This is just the red side. Of gearbox. And then this is what it sounds like on the Bella. I'll be a big bottom. The Bella's definitely got this to it that I like. Especially when you get into some of the more So, like, that's just the Pantheon. Let's take a quick lap through everything. Here's the Pantheon on the Lone Star. More zing. A little more tiny sounding. But it'll be great for this. totally that thing right there. The Pantheon on the Marshall sounds like this. A little more woo. Less of that top end zing, but far more of that classic EJ slightly driven kind of tone. Braxel is saying, do you have the, Andy, did you say you have the app mod? Yeah, right here it is. This is coming at you. This is my Sir Woodshed compressor, the Andy Timmons AT mod, a Strymon delay, and a Lone Star. So it's very Timmonsy. Oh, sorry, let me get you on the Lone Star. That was the Marshall. There it is, right? That same kind of sound on the Bella, for instance. You know. And then on the Marshall, one more time. Pantheon on the Marshall with the compressor. Gearbox. Gearbox on the Lone Star. One more time. Here we go. Yeah. So it's and then compare all of that, you know, with the diesel. Sorry. There we go. It's got a very different kind of thing. But I love the diesel for the rules for that thing, you know. It's all about what you're doing and what you need to achieve in your tone. I got some great questions. Let me hit a couple of the things over here going on in the chat, and let me do just a little bit of housekeeping real quick. We are down to just very few slots at the Woodshed. I think we're down to less than 20 overall slots, and by overall, we offer a package where you can add on and have a guest that's not there to play guitar, but just a guest, like a guest pass. So we're down to our very last few slots in the Woodshed experience. A lot of this topic will be at Woodshed, obviously having Eric Johnson and Andy Timmons on property. Tone is going to be the name of the game this year, and it's going to be a delight. Go to woodshedguitarexperience.com. Congratulations to Guy Matos. Guy did the Sir competition. There's so many great entries from the Sir competition. A lot of you guys are Woodshed Patreon members. A lot of you guys are already coming to Woodshed. And so, you know, judging this thing was really, really tough. It was tough. And there were so many international entries that I couldn't use because you had to be a United States resident. Drink water. Water is good. I'm trying to drink more water, so drink your water. But yeah, anyways, back on topic. Woodshed Guitar Experience going on at the end of the month, down to our last couple of slots. Hope you guys want to come. If you want to come and you want a discount, make sure to use one of Fluff's or Rob Baker's, if you like Robert Baker, or if you like Ben Eller, or like I said, if you watch Riffs, Gears, and Gear and Beard, Fluff's channel, Ryan Bruce. They've all got affiliate codes, so get you a discount by using one of their codes. Those guys are brothers in arms, and I love what they do, and they're fantastic players. So that's the housekeeping there. If you love this channel and you want to see more content and you want to see more live streams, I'm really trying to make that a thing. Trying to get past this album release. I saw some of you guys asking about that. We'll talk about that in just a second. But if you love this channel, please think about supporting it via andywoodmusic.com or patreon.com/andywoodmusic. I've got a little $5 tier. You can throw some money in the tip bucket and get access to over 600 posts. 600 exclusive videos. There's transcriptions, there's tabs, there's everything. Please think about throwing some money in the beer bucket over there. Here we go. Now let's get back on topic. Choosing the right tool for the gig, amps, guitars, pedals, etc. Tom Monshine, I'd love to pronounce your last name correctly, and I don't know if I am. Monskine. Tom says, what if you're doing the chicken picking thing? The first thing I'm going to do, this is a good game. Let's do the what if game. The first thing I'm going to do is be like, okay, what guitar do I have? Okay, I've got to make it work with what I got. Now, ideally, I will use the guitar that's right there, which is a Telecaster, and we'll get to that. This is a hot-rodded Sir Telly. I'm basically a billboard today. Unintentionally, I didn't realize I was wearing the hat and the sweatshirt, playing the guitar. I look like a serial killer or a psychopath. I feel like anytime you've just covered with one brand, you look like a race car driver or a serial killer. So I'm that guy today. Sorry, Misha, If you guys know Misha from Periphery, he always says if a man has only one brand of pedal on his pedal board, he is 100% a serial killer. So I guess I'm that guy today. Anyways, chicken picking. The first thing I'm going to do is get as close to possible on the guitar as I can. This guitar has a push-pull on the tone pot, so I'm going to pull that out for series parallel. Here's before, and here is after. Right? Let's see. What have we got going on that's messing up the sound? Why am I messed up? Okay, yeah. There we go. Let's get back to where we need to be. Okay. Now we've got the sound that's as best as possible. I'm on the Lone Star right now. Here's the back pickup, the woodbucker in series parallel. Here's before. Here's after. You see how it's kind of adjusting that curve a little bit? That's a it's a little more one more time. There we go. So I'm trying to get as good as I can right here with this. Okay, next thing is I'm going to introduce a little bit of EQ. So I specifically am going to bump around 3K. So now let's do that. Let's bump 3K. So now I've got my compressor and my EQ. Here's without it. Here's with it. This is now starting to sound really appropriate. Yeah. Various Brad Paisley isms, Brent Mason isms. So the next thing that I would want to do is get a proper echo delay going on. So that means, luckily I chicken pick quite a bit and I have a preset that's slapback. And we're kind of there. Now I might adjust the time. Here's a really quick one. There's 70. I kind of like it more of the quick one, right? Here's 65. Need to practice. Okay, so the last thing I would probably do is add a little bit of the Super AT mod just for fun to get a little bit of grit in there. Too much grit, for sure. Kick that down. Super AT mod might just have too much gas in the tank for us. Maybe not. That's pretty good right there. That's nice. Yeah. So Billy Wagner is chiming in with that sounds a little bit more like Albert Lee. For sure. You know why? Because Albert was using a lot of these split kind of tones. Like for Hummingbird. So let's jump over to what I would properly do for chicken picking. And there is no replacement, you know, there's no replacement for displacement. So it's all about the pickups. Switch guitars. Oh man, the old traditional. Look at her. This guy, me and this guy have been through, we've been through hell and back. This is my first real working professional guitar. And it was always my mom's favorite guitar. My mom has really good ears. She got a good ear for tone. And she doesn't play. She's got a good ear for tone. She always liked this guitar. And the pickups that the Woodshed pickups that are kind of my Tele pickups, they're a lot like this. Now I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to do a different pickup. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Let's keep out of that slap back. There we go. So you can see how much different it is. You know, it's really more accurate. This is without the AT mod. This is just the core sound, which is the Woodshed compressor. A little bit of EQ bumping 3K. And we're on the Lone Star. And it sounds appropriate. It sounds like chicken picking stuff, right? Yeah. With a little bit of that grit from the AT mod. Whatever. Yeah, it's got a B bender in it, as if you guys are wondering. So that's really kind of close to a kind of a good chicken tone. Yeah, it feels good. Like if I was going to play shred neck. Bender's a little bit out of tune. Yeah, it's a little out. Let me tune that up. Oh, I got it here. Tune that bender. That's a little sharp. Unfortunately, this is the old Parsons style. Like that's a. Oh, is Sean in the house? What are you doing, Sean? Sean Tubbs out there just making us all look bad. Friggin' monster. Yeah, still a little bit sharp there. Let's bring that down. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, so you can tell that little bit of grit gives it that paisley kind of thing. Without the grit, it's a little bit more the that thing, right? What is it? What's that lick? What is it? Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, obviously you can tell with the grit, it's a little more... A little bit more of the Brad Paisley kind of thing. Without it, you know, it's got more of the Jimmy. Kind of Jimmy-esque. So yeah, if we were to hear those same kind of sounds on the Bella, obviously it's way darker. You know, it's really good for that thing though. If we were to hear that on the Marshall, I like the Marshall. It's real, like, it's real thwacky. Yeah, it's really good for that. Yeah, so anyways, I'm kind of like delving into noodle world. Sorry about that. If I was going to dial in the chicken picking thing, that's probably what I would do. Actually, I would do the old Deluxe here. I don't know if the Deluxe is hooked up to my amp switcher. But if it is, that would be the amp that I'd go to for the chicken thing. So with that said, you know, let's delve into another guitar completely for a different kind of tone. You know, the old Les Paul rig, and I'm not going to change anything. This is a 58 copy. It's a Murphy. God, it stays in tune like a son of a gun too. Thing's always really close to in tune. Really crazy. So this is the Les Paul. Nothing changed. The exact signal chain that the Tele was in. Right. I love a Les Paul in the middle position or the neck position. That's on the Marshall. Go to the Lone Star. The Lone Star's so nice and touch sensitive. And Marshalls just do what they do, right? This kind of stuff's really nice on the Lone Star. Right? So that's, here's the same kind of sound without the EQ. Oh, I'm going to go to Instagram jail for playing that lick. Let's go over to the Pantheon. Really gives you that kind of slash kind of thing, right? It's good. Let's go to the Marshall. Oh, it's way more. Let's go to the gearbox. Yeah. Okay, now let's jump to the Bella. Gearbox on Bella. I love that like syrupy thing with the Les Paul. I would crank up the gearbox a little bit, get it brighter. About right there is where I'd run the mids on the Les Paul. Going back to the Pantheon. Yeah, I think that sounds killer. I would rock that. I underestimate how much the guitar is back there every time I go to play a Les Paul. Yeah, it's about the tool for the job, man. It's like, it's you know, if you're going to play rock, shoot, dude, it's hard to beat just a Les Paul, an overdrive pedal, and a good amp, you know? Again, if you want to hear the same stuff on the Diesel, this is no pedals at all. It's how much more teeth's in the Diesel. You know. It just depends on what you need done, you know, and then there's the Lone Star with nothing on it. I don't know. Just depends on the situation, right? And the sound and the gig and I think so much of the right tool for the job, we get so convinced that this is a point to leave on. We get so convinced that our heroes use a thing that we'll have the great tone if we use what they use. Now that can be true, and that can also not be true. Like I literally have basically Andy Timmons' rig right here. It's a Lone Star, a AT mod, a compressor, and a Strymon delay. And the tone, you know, it's great, but I'm not going to use it for everything. And obviously I still sound like me. Most importantly, I don't sound like AT. There's moments of it where it's like, oh, you can, you know, a thing here or there, but in general, yeah, it's like, that's not the sound that I'm going to use all the time. Just like this isn't the sound I would use all the time, or the Diesel or whatever. And I think that's where modelers come into play. You get so many things in something like a Fractal I mean, it takes years to amass an amp collection where you can just flip through a switcher and hear all these different amazing amps. Whereas if you get an Axe Fix, you kind of got it right there under your fingertips, and it's great. I don't think it's a thing where, you know, oh man, it's got to be 2 amps or it's like, modeling sucks. No, it's just how much time do you spend into it? How much do you put in to crafting your sound and knowing the sound of the guitar in your head that you want to hear? You may think you're not a Les Paul guy, but what happens if you play one and every time you play it, it sounds great? Then you're a Les Paul guy, you know, or you know, that's why I like, you know, if I've only got one guitar, that's why my signature guitar has a lot of different sounds in it where I can get through different gigs and different needs with just one guitar. Now if I have my druthers, I like to have a rack with a Les Paul and a 335 and a Strat and all the things to make use of all the different kinds of sounds. A request to hear some Synergy stuff at some point, for sure we will, and play the PRS at some point, yeah, for sure. But yeah, these are just my thoughts, and I just wanted you guys to kind of hear, not me talk about these things, but you just hear like all the different sounds and what subtleties. I want you to hear the different subtleties from amp to amp, and maybe they're not as different as you thought they were. Maybe they're more different than you thought they were. You know, but on deck today, we had the Lone Star, the Bella, the Vintage Marshall, and the Diesel. And we had my guitar, they were all my guitars, but we had the A Wood signature guitar. And then we had this old 58 Murphy, which is a fantastic Les Paul. And then we had the Black Telly, my old Black Telly, and that's a Seymour Duncan wiring, it's the copy of the Brent Mason thing in that Black Telly. So yeah, thanks for hanging out today. I appreciate you guys so much. As always, I can't thank you enough for the love on the streams and the love in the Woodshed Patreon. And I can't wait to see you guys at the end of the month. I really can't wait for you guys to hear the new album. It's now at Mix. We're mixing the album. Jimmy T is mixing it at Dream Theater's studio up in Long Island. So yeah, really, really excited about that. Up in New York, the album is now with Jimmy, and he's been sneaking me little phone clips. I can't wait for you guys to hear that record. There's some amazing guests on it as well. And we'll be filming the first 2 music videos for it really soon. So I'm excited. Again, if you love what we do here and you want to see more of this type of thing, man, think about throwing $5 in the old beer bucket at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. If you want to join us for our weekly live Zoom masterclasses, there's some Patreon members here in the chat that can tell you about how cool that is. It's a great hang. It happens Wednesdays. And we just kind of dig into the topics of the week, what's been going on in the music industry, and do some picking. And they've been hearing the album and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good hangs to be had out there. And I appreciate you guys choosing to spend your time with me. So with that said, man, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. John Swain is in the house. Thank you, sir. And we will be getting a good video here is underway today that is a recap of me getting to jam and play with the Marshall Tucker Band. They called me up on stage to play Can't You See with them. So I'm going to do a video of that. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much, and we'll see you real soon.